Well, Patty, we just wrapped up the 2025 camping season at Happy Acres, which means we had to vacate our lot.
We did.
And we're now officially on the road.
On the road.
And I thought we would share with everybody how things are going in this week's episode of Travels with Delaney,
the podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Patrick.
I'm Patty.
And we are joined, as always, on the old podcast sofa by our Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, Truman and Bess.
And Truman's taking up his real estate on
Truman
this
seems
couch.
to be sitting in your seat. Hopefully you're still on camera for the video version.
He's pushing me out.
Pushing you out. So, well, we unfortunately did not have an episode last week, Patty,
no.
because we were a little busy. A little bit. So, for those of you who maybe found our podcast and you're like, who are these people and what are they doing? We both retired from our 26-plus year education careers this summer.
Yep.
I now manage Happy Acres Campground in beautiful Angola, Indiana, and it is a seasonal park, which means we closed on, I think it was April 26th. I'm sorry, October 26th.
You are tired.
And we don't reopen till April 24th.
There you go.
And so when we closed the park last week, we had to leave.
Well, right, because it was getting cold, the water was turned off, and we're like, well, let's get out of here.
And so we thought, you know what, we did an episode on closing the park, but we thought we better update everybody on what is going on, where we're at, where we're going to be, and all that good stuff. But before we do that, Patty, we have to do another exciting round of this or that.
Okay.
All right. So we have been at Walt Disney World for a week now.
Yes, we have.
And you have had two different salads, and I'm curious which one you would like to go back for if you could.
You're good if you can remember these salads.
Would you go back to the Boathouse for the chop salad?
Okay.
Or would you go back to Trattoria Al Forno for the caprese salad?
Oh, this is easy.
This is easy?
They're both awesome. I love them both, but I'm going for the caprese.
The caprese for the win.
Yeah.
We had that last night.
Oh my
and
gosh.
that was absolutely delicious.
What was that? I don't know.
It was the homemade mozzarella or burrata, and it had
some
cherry
greens.
Tomatoes, some greens, and some kind of balsamic vinaigrette.
It
that
was amazing.
Yeah, we actually ended up splitting that as well as splitting one of their wood-fired pizzas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we were so stuffed after that meal.
Their food is so good.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right into it.
All right.
So now we are at Fort Wilderness at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
We had not planned to take
No.
It's kind of weird. I booked it the week before Thanksgiving here way back in, I think it was like March.
Yeah.
And as the summer went on, we were like, you know what? That's silly to drive all the way to Florida because we have to go back to Louisville before we go to Texas. And so I canceled it.
Yeah.
And then about 3 weeks ago, Amy and Mike, our friends from Happy Acres who also work with us at Happy Acres, came down for cocktails.
And she was carrying a little notebook.
Amy had her little notebook. I thought we were going to talk work, and I was like,
no.
no work talk during cocktail hour.
You're not supposed to talk about work.
And she's like, well, we were wondering when you guys are going to Disney, and can we join you? And we were like, well, you can join us, except we canceled the trip. And so that night, I started looking online, found this week that we're here, which obviously is way before Thanksgiving, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving. And we booked it. And so we've been traveling with Mike and Amy for the last week, which has been amazing.
Lots of fun.
So we did wrap up the campground on
the 25th, I think.
Yeah,
26th.
27th.
27th.
Monday.
Okay.
So the crew, and we had this amazing crew: Bill and Robin, Mike and Amy, Patty, myself, Kevin, Angie. We worked hard on Sunday the 26th. Once all the campers were rolling out. In fact, hopefully nobody was offended, but as campers were pulling out on Sunday morning, Bill and I were pulling picnic tables because we have to put all the picnic tables up in the
collapse.
Yeah.
You can stack them.
So that meant on Monday morning, Kevin came out and him and Bill
went around and took care of the water.
Yeah, shut off the water. And so Monday night, us and Amy and Mike were running off of our tanks. And then on Tuesday, we left and went to Georgetown, Kentucky.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Whispering Hills RV Park. And it was just a quick one-night stay. I had to teach my virtual class on Tuesday night. So we got in early, set up, taught my class. And then on Wednesday morning, we were on the road pretty early.
Right.
Mike and Amy were having tire issues. And so the first thing we had to do was they had to
Get 'em
go.
the tire.
Yeah. Mike had just gotten brand new tires put on their RV, and the place that did it put in the wrong valve stems.
Right.
And so they had been delayed on Tuesday because a couple of them were leaking. The place came out, met them on the highway, changed a couple out. Well, the other two started leaking.
Yeah.
So Wednesday morning, once we got those, we were on the road. And then we spent Wednesday night
in Georgia
at
the Georgia Peanut RV
Park,
I think,
by Carol's Sausage and Country Store.
Right.
And I have to tell you, if you're just looking for a place, you're coming through Georgia, you're just looking for a place to camp for the night, this place was perfect. It's right off the highway. They were all big pull-throughs.
Right.
We didn't have to unhitch or anything. Full hookup, $45. And that included tax and everything, I believe. It was just $45, if I recall right.
Right, because then
and then you went into the store and they give you a $10 gift card for the store.
So basically, it was $35.
$35. The only thing is, I think we ended up spending like $80 in the store.
Well, they have so much stuff.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh, it's like a meat market. I mean, it is a meat
yeah,
market.
And then the what do you call them? The meat displays.
Oh,
We got
sausages,
bacon, ham.
Yeah.
You name it. So we kind of stocked up on some stuff to have for future.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. So that was a great stop. I would definitely stop there again.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the kind of RV park you're going to stay more than a night or
it's
two.
Just a night.
I think it's in Ashburn.
Ashburn, Georgia.
Yeah, right off I-75. And like I said, having the store there and getting that $10, that was a great deal.
We were just happy because that day, if you remember, it was a rainy drive day.
On Wednesday,
yeah,
we drove through rain from the time we left Kentucky till
once we got to our place in Georgia, it stopped raining. We were just so happy that it wasn't raining anymore.
And honestly, Atlanta was probably the worst I remember.
Yeah, we hit it at a really bad time of day.
About 4:30, 5 o'clock.
And it was just jam-packed.
And when you're pulling, Mike and Amy have a 38-foot Grand Design travel trailer.
With a dually truck.
Yeah, and then we have our 35-foot fifth wheel.
With Babs, our truck.
And it was just bumper to bumper, side to side. But we got through it, and and then on Thursday we had a nice, easy drive from Ashburn, Georgia to Ocala, Florida.
Yes.
And we spent 3 nights at Champions Run RV Resort.
Nice place, beautiful.
Again, right off 75, easy to get to.
Close to groceries and food.
Yep.
And whatever you need.
And it's a true resort.
Yeah.
Like every site is fully concreted, so you park your RV on concrete, you step out on concrete, your vehicle's on concrete.
Nice
and they
green
were
grass.
I was gonna say they were well spaced for a new park.
Yeah, they were not on top of each other at all.
No, you had grass, and then you had like shrubs in between each site. We didn't use it, but they had a nice big pool, a couple hot tubs.
Yep.
There was
a
tiki bar. They had entertainment couple nights we were there.
The big building had like a laundromat
and pool table, ping pong,
they had
foosball.
Yeah, like an activity room, like if they did like activities like bingo or whatever. But yeah.
And I think for the 3 nights we were there, and obviously the rates change all the time depending on how busy they are, that type of thing. I think a 3-night stay for us was around $160 or $170, so it wasn't bad at all.
No.
And again, full hookup, super nice.
Yeah, and we were able to, because while we were there, we had been there before at Silver Springs, but we took Mike and Amy
that's
to Silver
right.
Springs.
I totally forgot. We went to Silver Springs.
And that is just such a beautiful state park. If you've never been, you need to go because the water is so crystal clear. The spring water is it's a cool little thing because they have a little boat ride you can do. It costs, I forget how much.
I think it was $15 a person for a 30-minute boat ride.
And it's a glass bottom boat, and the boats are really cool and neat. And then you see, we saw an alligator. Sometimes you see manatees. We saw them on the trail. We walked along the water while we were waiting for our turn because we had a 1 o'clock boat ride. But we saw 2 manatees out in the little river. They have a little like food area now, and yeah, it's just really pretty there.
Right.
The walking paths are cool. Oh, and there's monkeys. There's 500 monkeys.
We didn't see any monkeys.
Oh, we didn't see any, but they said they were
they were
somewhere.
there. So
They were on vacation or something. But yeah, it's just a really neat little. It wasn't packed. It was you could walk. The weather was great. It was a nice
yeah.
fun day.
And
Yeah.
then we had a really short drive last Sunday because we went from Ocala,
Yeah.
and which was about an hour and a half to get here to Walt Disney World. And we've been here. This is our last night. Tomorrow morning we'll
At
be
Fort
hitching up,
Wilderness. Yeah.
and we'll be heading north.
North, where
Uh,
I hear it's cold.
yeah.
We've been spoiled,
So
so
if you
yeah.
haven't been following us, maybe over on our YouTube channel, I don't know if we've talked much here on the podcast, but we are headed back to Louisville. So we'll get to Louisville Sunday night,
Hmm.
meet up with Angie and Kevin, the owners of the campground, because we are going to the National Campground Conference,
Yeah.
outdoor hospitality. I forget what
Hmm.
it is. And Angie and I are actually presenters
You
this year.
are,
We'll be
yeah.
presenting on influencer marketing
Hmm.
and our success at Happy Acres, and so we're
Right.
excited about that. And then finally on the 13th of November,
I
yes,
think so.
then we finally head south again, this time
Southwest
to Texas,
Texas, yeah.
and make our way down to call Texas home for the winter months.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but, and if you haven't seen it, we put out a YouTube video this week where we finally went, well, right before we left. Patty and I went and weighed the truck, and then we weighed the truck and the
Hmm.
trailer. And interestingly, because we were hitting the road on Tuesday,
Right.
I didn't really do anything with it
Right.
until I think it was Wednesday or even Thursday when we got to Ocala.
Right.
And I started crunching the numbers because I didn't think we'd have a weight issue. And in fact, my only real concern was whether we were overloading the trailer, because the trailer can be loaded to 13,995. We'll just call it 14,000 pounds. And we were okay there. We were a couple hundred pounds under. But if you watch our video, you'll see that our pin weight was a little high,
Yeah.
around 3,200 pounds, which meant we were okay on rear axle rating, but our truck our truck gross vehicle weight rating was over by about 290 pounds. So we're going to, tomorrow at some point, I'm guessing, we're probably going to pull into another cat scale, because this last week, Mike and I kind of worked on our
Did
trailer.
a little finagling.
We were looking at where could we shift weight.
Yep.
And we also cleaned out the bed of my truck. Mike and I went through our tools and found that we had a lot of duplicates that I was carrying. Like, we don't need 2 sets of sockets. We don't need 2 sets of wrenches. And just really, so he's taken some stuff back to Indiana. We lost weight there.
Right.
We also had brought 240 bottle counts of drinking water, which weigh about 45 pounds apiece. So there was 90 pounds right in the bed of the truck.
Right.
And we had a case of bubbly, which is probably about the same, because that was 40 cans, I think, on those, or 30 some.
Right.
It was just, and then today I was cleaning out the outdoor storage, got rid of a couple things, and we relocated some stuff from the outdoor storage to the back of the trailer under the sofa here. And so I think with that, and I'm carrying a ladder, so I have a way to go up and check my slide outs.
Right.
This is a weird thing, but I bought a bike rack when we were at Champions Run. So,
Well, the reason is because our electric bikes, Angie and Kevin are going to use them, but they're going to borrow them because they're going to end up going to California.
right after the convention, they're headed to
Right.
California.
And then when they come back toward Texas, they're going to stop by and swing by, I guess. And we need a way to get them back to Indiana. So in March, April time. So that's why there was somebody at Champions Run that was selling it for $50 or something.
Yeah, the gentleman said that they had decided they were just going to carry their bikes and their SUV inside as opposed to on the bike rack. And so they wanted to get rid of the bike rack because they weren't going to use it anymore. And it was about a $250 bike rack.
It's nice.
$50, yeah. And so, but what I did today was Mike and I strapped the ladder, which probably weighs 35 to 50 pounds, somewhere in that range. We've currently, since we have the bike rack, I'm like, let's put it on the bike rack. And so we used ratchet straps. It's not going anywhere.
Right.
And yeah, so that'll put some weight back there. So that's why I'm kind of excited to reweigh to see
Well,
where
yes,
we're at.
because it's like with anything, you always got to figure out, is this the best spot for something, especially
Right.
when we haul like this. And we hadn't hauled in a long time, so it really wasn't something to think about. and now we're thinking about
Right.
it. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and I did see like on the video. I enjoy the comments, but like somebody's like, "Why are you hauling water if you have a fancy water filtration system?" And the simple answer is that
These guys.
the dogs.
Because they have very sensitive stomachs, Cavalier Spaniels, and these guys do, and we didn't want to change their water.
Right.
I
So
could
we
give 'em
use the water out of the
fancy
spigot.
water. But when we travel, we get the bottled water real quick, and we don't always use the spigot. And for these doggies,
Right.
we keep them with bottled water all the time.
But we
so-
don't have to travel so much. It was
No.
just I had been at Costco, and if you're a Costco member, you know that's the best place to buy bottled water because you
a
get
better
40
price.
bottles for $3.99. So I had just stocked up, not even thinking about weight. But now that we know, obviously we won't haul
Take as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll just pick it up when we're
Absolutely.
traveling. So
Right.
so we are our full-time life now has kicked into a new phase to where
Yeah.
we're actually doing a little traveling. I would say overall, don't you think this first phase of the travel has went pretty well?
It has.
I mean,
for everybody. Yeah.
yeah, I was afraid, I won't lie. We were so settled in at Happy Acres. Well, we were there basically April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So basically 7 months.
Right.
And this trailer never moved. And so we had lots of knickknacks because it's our home. And I was really concerned right before we left. I'm like, how are we going to travel? Patty
problem.
Patty did an amazing job of packing up.
Well, I just went through as I was going from section to section and kind of rearranged some stuff, organized some stuff, and I got there's lots of spaces here that even the new stuff that we've purchased while we're here, I
Right.
got spots for those, so
Right.
it's not hard once you start.
Yeah, because
looking.
I was nervous. I'm like, I don't know how we're ever going to leave here. So now, and I think that's one of the things that, if you're stationary full time versus traveling full time, because if we were a full timer like a lot of the YouTubers that are
Right.
full time, where, they're on the go every couple weeks or even if they stay a month, I don't know how much they set up like
Yeah.
a home, and we'll have the same thing come April.
coming back to Indiana.
Because the only thing I will say is I know for a fact we're going to take a trip in December with my aunt and uncle. So I don't know how much we'll set up once we get to Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to take you very long to pack
No,
stuff
well,
away.
and then like coming here, I didn't unpack everything, and so I just got out a
Right.
few things that we like and a few little things, but I didn't get everything
Right.
out. So I
But-
probably will do the same until.
But I could see it being the same situation come April if we don't do much traveling in Texas.
and
if
it's easy
yeah.
to put
But
stuff.
again, you got us ready to
I
go to
did.
Texas.
I got it ready
So
to go.
I guess you'll be able to get us ready to go back to Indiana, which I don't even want to think about
No,
yet.
that's easy.
Yeah.
I like to organize. The organization is my thing. I like to
Yeah.
organize stuff.
As far as the truck, I tell you what, it did a great job
Babs
hauling.
did a great job.
So, and I saw a couple people comment on my video saying it looked like the truck was squatting. Well, number
Yeah.
one, I'd like to see a truck
that doesn't.
doesn't squat with a big trailer attached to it.
Well, and even at the campground, because we moved it to a different location before we left, and
Yeah.
Kevin was there, and Kevin's all mechanical, and so is Mike. And they were looking at it with you, and they're
Right.
like, "It looks great." And
I mean, that's the thing. When you stand back and look at it, so I did. It's quite sure it did. But we have the Timbrins, which helps with that.
but we weren't like,
No.
what do you call that? Where the back end is low. And the
Yeah, I
front is
mean,
high.
we saw a couple trailers on the highway looking like that.
Well,
Trucks and
even
truck.
when we were somewhere traveling down, we were on a really nice level spot, maybe just doing a potty break, and we're like, look how good it looks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you want is your trailer and your truck to line up, and they look great. I would say we averaged about 9.5 miles to the gallon.
I think so. And then what you even measured one time, because your friend Bobby Young told you one time that the fifth wheel needs to be so far
3 to
above.
5 inches above the rails, and we're
And we were-
way up there. We're good.
We're good with
I mean,
that.
I honestly could probably lower the hitch.
But we didn't have
but
issues pulling or
No,
anything.
it
Yeah.
pulled great, and so I'm not going to
Yeah.
tinker with it at this point.
The only thing I think what you're learning, which makes sense, is because it's a longer bed and how your turn
Yeah.
radius is a little different.
It does seem to back and turn a little different with that 8-foot
Mm-hmm.
bed versus when I had the 6.5 or whatever it was.
But we're so happy with having diesel gas because it's easier to get gas
Right, it's much easier
than
to get,
having to
yeah.
do what we had to. Because
we
one
can go
time
back with the big rigs.
we were
and,
trying to do a Buc-ee stop, and it was like,
yeah, that and yeah.
And Buc-ee's, I've always said, I love Buc-ee's. I love it. but they need to have RV spaces.
I wish,
Yeah,
but they
so
don't.
they don't.
So
But anyway, so
yeah.
it's been a good thing so
Yeah.
far.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would say so far, this transition, getting on the road has been good. Like I said, tomorrow, by the time you hear this, we'll already be in Louisville, going to the outdoor hospitality conference, and then, like I said, we'll be making our way to Texas. So there's a possibility we'll see in the following week's episode. That'll probably have to be recorded in Louisville. Well, unless we do it once we get to Texas, because the plan is we leave Louisville on Thursday. The plan is to arrive in Texas at our location in New Braunfels on Friday.
Yes.
And then, so it's possible we might just record on Saturday. I know we won't do it on Sunday, because Sunday we're going to Worst Fest.
We're going to the Worst Fest.
Yeah.
Their Oktoberfest.
It's their 10-day Oktoberfest, and we're going on the very last day.
With Dennis and Priscilla,
yeah,
your Uncle Dennis.
Uncle Woody and Priscilla and Aunt Priscilla, and they've already bought the tickets, and they're going to come pick us up, so I don't have to try to drive Babs down to the festival.
Yep.
And
so
maybe we'll wait till we get to Texas to record the next episode.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun. So anyway, we just wanted to bring you, because we did miss last week, and I said, let's sit down real quick before we go get something to eat here on our final night and go to the campfire, the Chippendale Camp and Fire. And I said, let's record, update everybody on some, what's going on since we've left the campground. And so we're going to keep it short. So we appreciate everybody hanging with us.
And our jibber jabber.
Yep. And we will get you another update here, hopefully in another week, on how things are going. And thank you to Mr. Jim Kuzman, our good friend and producer, who puts this thing out for us and always ensures the audio is top notch.
Absolutely.
And until next time, everybody, we'll see ya.
On down the road.
Bye.
Travels with Delaney. We'll see you on down the road.